I have a friend that has algebra too, but another teacher. And like, she was wondering if she can also come too.
She can come, but we're doing different things, so.
I think she's. I'm not sure.
Is this right so far? Is this, I don't get any further.
Yeah, I think so. And it just now you're gonna distribute the power inside, and then the 8 to the 2/3. Hopefully you know that.
Mister,
Yeah.
come here. What? Aaron thinks he's correct and he's wrong. Look, Fred, is this correct? Please tell me it's not correct.
It's not a correct answer.
It is bad. Do you know what?
What's 45 divided by
What is that? Is it y?
Yep.
You have tutoring today too?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, have a seat.
No, I'm not canceling out. I'm just changing it. Here, I'm just making it. What's 18 times 2? 36. Yeah, 36.
I did that. All right. Have a seat. I bought a Starbucks. I forgot to get a straw. All right. Have a seat. We're going to talk about complex numbers. Complex number is a lot of things. A lot of people get really easily confused, but it's easier than it looks. When the problem with complex numbers is when I say complex, people automatically turn off their brain. But it's actually pretty easy. Or when I say imaginary number, people say, I cannot imagine number, so their automatic brain shuts off. But just bear with me. Understanding it's not hard. A lot of people tend to struggle a lot in complex number. So I'm using new marker because this is kind of important topic. And so what we're going to talk about is complex numbers. Let's start by little bit. Let's start says, what is square root of a -1? We're going to call this I. There's a name for it. It's one of the Euler's formula elements, so it's one of the more special number. We talked about beginning of the year. And then if I have I squared, that's equal to -1. So I'm going to write that in red because that's a big deal. A lot of time that you're going to use that. So -1 is equal to I squared. Okay? So pretty much this is going to be two things I'll be using. Now complex number, you want to write in something called A plus BI form. So A plus BI form. A is the real number. A is a real number. And the B is the complex number. So B. So I hear that A is going to be real. And here's a represents the complex. So there are two parts. They are the real part and there's a complex part. Some people call it imaginary number. So you can say that's also imaginary number. Now, I think there's a bad rap about this because when they talk about complex or imaginary, students kind of get lost. But when they first started, like back in history, about I would say a few hundred years ago, they don't call it that. They say people call it complex. It just makes students like turn it off. So they actually have another name called lateral numbers. So that's the things that back then that they have to do. So now you got those three things. Now we're gonna use those three things. First of all, we're gonna talk about when i's. What is the I and what is representing? Okay, so we're gonna say there is a real plane, a real Cartesian coordinate. So it's gonna be like this, right? We know that's equal to 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, negative, negative, negative 1, negative 2. And if I have 2, 1, it's going to be this case, right? So that's a real Cartesian coordinate. Most of you guys don't know what a Cartesian coordinate is, like the one in the grid over there. And the person that started using that is because he was kind of thinking about a math problem. And he was like laying down there, and he saw a spider web on the corner. And he said, okay, I can use that as a grid system to help me solve a lot of math problems. And he did. Okay? So that's what starting out with this. But you're going to say, okay, well, what does complex plane look like? So this one's a complex plane. So right here it's going to be still 1, still be 2, still be 3, still be 4. Right here it's negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. And but right here, the y-axis, so this is a real axis. And this is a complex axis. So that's going to be I, 2i, 3i, negative I, negative 2i, and negative 3i. So instead of 1, 2, 3, it's going to be I, 2i, 3i, negative I, negative 2i, negative 3i. Now why do I write in this form? A plus bi. This kind of tells me the x-axis, and this kind of tells me the y number. So if I have 2 plus I, that's going to be here. So this is a 2 units plus I. So it's actually this coordinate is 2 plus I. This, the name of this is 2 plus I. Why? I'm moving 2 units here and 1 unit above. It's a single dot. Okay, it's 2 plus I. Where is negative 2 minus 4i? Where's negative 2 minus 4i? Can you think about where's negative 2? Negative 2 minus 4i. Where is that? Which quadrant will it be at? Negative 2 minus 4i. Negative 2 minus 4i. Where will be that location? Yes, bottom which corner? This corner or this corner? Right, because of negative 2 minus 4i, so it's right here. So this dot is going to be negative 2 minus 4i. So that's why we need to split to two different things. This one tells me the x direction, and this tells me the y directions. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Do I need to do one more?
Yeah.
Okay, how about negative 3 plus 2i? Where's negative 3 plus 2i? Neela?
You said negative 2.
Negative 3 plus 2i.
Negative 3 plus 2 is the left top, and
Right. So -3, so that means I'm going -3 plus 2i, that means gonna go to the top. So this one's a -3 plus 2i. Okay? Now, also later on we're gonna learn something called modulus. A modulus is the absolute value of a complex number. So what I mean by that is this. Do you understand what an absolute value is used for? You know what it is, but do you know why do they mathematically come up with absolute value? So absolute value, why absolute value? Why do we have absolute value? Basically, mainly it's calculate the distance. Used for distance. So if I have, let's say, 2 and 4, what's the distance between point A and point B? 2. How did you get that? 4 minus 2, right? So you take the big number and you subtract the small number and you got 2. So that's my distance. Right? But what if I say, hey, I don't like 4 minus 2. I want to do 2 minus 4. What can I do that? But 2 minus 4 is what? -2. So they say, well, it doesn't matter. Well, if I walk from here to here, it's +2. But if I walk from here to here, it should be 2. But it's -2. I'm going left, right? So it's -2. So is there any way I can differentiate that? So here I say, okay, well, how about I put an absolute value on it? I can always determine that. It's 2 minus 4, -2, absolute value is 2. So that's distance. Question about this part. Now you say, well, how about this one is -4. Oh, that doesn't make sense. And this one's -6. Well, now I can calculate distance. Doesn't matter which one I use. You know it's 2, right? But there's a lot of negative signs get confused the heck out of me. So I can say, I'm just take one number, subtract another number. So it'd be -4, right? Subtract -6, and put an absolute value on it. So I hear that's going to be -4 plus 6. That's equal to 2. What if I do the other way around? It's okay. That's going to be -4 plus -6 plus 4. That's equal to what? Absolute value -2, that's equal to 2. So it doesn't matter which orientation. That's what's the nice thing about absolute value. You can get a distance out of here. But what is distance of, we're going to talk about 2 plus I. This is modulus. Modulus is distance between this coordinate and the origin. Okay? So distance between the complex number to origin. How do I find the distance from here to here? In geometry, how do I find distance from this point to this point? Distance formula, good. But there's another way is better, faster, because it's how distance formula come in. We're going to talk about that later. You can build a triangle, right? And this is a right triangle because that's going at 90 degrees. Am I going too fast? So remember, you have this triangle that this has a 2, this has 1. Although it's I, so that's the distance is a 1, right? Then that's 90 degrees. Can I use a squared plus b squared equal to c squared? Yeah. I've seen this before. I don't know what you're talking about. Miss Cameron, what the hell are you? AJ, right? So that's going to be, this one is the c, And this has a and b, so it'll be 1 squared plus 2 squared, that's equal to c squared. So that's going to be 1 plus 4 is equal to c squared. C is equal to 5, square root 5 actually. So actually, the modulus is equal to square root 5. Can you find a negative 3 plus 2i? Now only graph it, you can find the distance from origin to here using the geometry. What's minus 3 plus 2i? This one, right? Can I draw a right triangle?
Yes.
With the length of 3, with the length of 2. You should be able to find the distance from origin to here. Those of you guys who are quick, you should be able to do it in your head. Carrot, you got it, right? So minus 3 plus 2i. Can I draw a right triangle here?
Yes.
From here to here, right? Right? What is my distance?
3.
3? What is my distance here? 2. So that is equal to c squared is equal to 2 squared plus negative 3 squared, right? That's equal to what? 4 plus 9 c squared. C is equal to square root of 13. And that's my answer, square root of 13. It's geometry, you learned this before. I'm not making this up. Right, AJ? Should I call Miss Cameron? Like he don't remember Pythagorean identity. I don't know what is it. Maybe somebody need to put him in the chokehold. Got it? Square root 13. Because this is size 3, this size 2, I need to find out here, which is distance from this point to this point. Are we okay here? Okay, if you don't understand, you can watch a video back. So absolute value just means the distance from here to origin, and you can use the right triangle to find out. But that's not what we're gonna test on too much. We're gonna talk about this too again. So what we're gonna test on is how do we rationalize the complex number? We know I is equal to square root of -1, right? So what if I have 3i, 3 over I? Do I have a radical in denominator? Technically, beforehand, right? Right? That is a radical, right? Nicholas, are you following me? This is a radical, right? I is radical. So how do I rationalize this? Multiply by what? I by I. Now the nice thing is this, I'm going to get I squared. And that's going to be 3i, but what's I squared? Good. So that's going to give you a -1, right? And that's going to be 3i over -1. So the answer is what? -3i. Are we okay? How about 4 over 3i? Can I rationalize this? Can you do it? Four over 3i is what? 4 over 3i How do I rationalize the I?
Multiplied by 3i.
Multiply just I
Just I.
over I. That's good enough. So what is 4i over 3i squared? A lot of people want to cancel this. Don't cancel it. This one's a -1, right? And that's equal to 4i, 3. That's equal to 4i over -3, or -4i over 3. Are we okay?
Yes.
Now, some people in SIT, they really easy question. Hopefully you guys get it. Don't let I scare you. I just like X. So sometimes they give you something like this. They say, oh yeah, 3i plus 2 and minus 4i plus 4. And they say write in the a plus bi form and find out what is the b. Find out what is the b. And you're like, what? A plus bi form, but what is a b? But just think about, what did I do to simplify this? What is a parenthesis? You do what? Distribute, good. Good job, AJ. Does that make sense? And there's a positive sign here that's going to distribute, so that's going to go away, so that's going to give you what? 3i plus 2. It's like, whoa, this is so difficult. Minus what? 4i, what? Minus 4. Good. Can I combine like term? Yeah. 3i and 4i is going to be what? What the heck?
Don't you multiply that?
Negative
7i. Oh, no, no, 7i.
Negative
Negative
1.
No?
It's minus.
Oh, it's recording too. Oh, damn.
Minus I, right?
Yes.
And then minus 2. So what is the problem here? This one is not in the a plus bi form. So can I change the a plus bi form? I can change the real number in the front minus 1i. So what's my v value?
Oh, 1.
No, not 1.
Oh, negative 1.
Yes, so a is, if this one is a plus bi form, right? So a must be what? -2. B must be what? -1. Okay, so that's a plus bi form. It's very important that you set that to a plus bi form, because if you don't, then the answer is not going to be correct. Too fast, or is it okay? This just like treat it like it's an x, no problem. At the end, you just make sure that x is in the back, or I is in the back. Instead of before, you always want to get x minus 2, but now we wanted the I in the back, so you got an a plus bi form, then I can graph it on the grids, much more easier. So if I have -2 minus 1i, that's going to be what? 1, 2, -1i is going to be this point, -2 minus I. So that is this point right here. Are we okay here?
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about what we did yesterday involving today. So what we did yesterday, you got 2i over 6i minus 4. We're going to learn how to rationalize this. How do I rationalize?
Get rid of rational denominator.
Yes, rationalize the denominator. Good. How do I rationalize the denominator in this case?
Multiplied by I. What's that?
Okay, you're not thinking.
Do the
6i.
6i plus 4.
6i plus 4, why?
So
Conjugate.
Conjugate, thank you. You gotta know that term. Conjugate. You multiply by 6i plus 4. And 6i plus 4. And that's gonna form using the difference of squares, so a minus b times a plus b. We know if I FOIL that, I'm gonna get a squared minus b squared. And that That's gonna make your life a whole lot easier because if I have this, a squared is what? This is a, right? What is a squared? 36 I squared, right? And the minus what? 4 times 4 is what?
Negative 16.
16. But the I am going to write in red so that way you can see it. That's going to be I squared. Am I okay? Now what's 2i times 6i?
4 squared.
4i squared. And then what's 4 times 2i? Plus ai, right? So we're going to write the I squared is right here. Am I going too fast? Just like before, because now we just deal with i's. Now the only thing different is what? I squared is what? Negative 1. I is okay. I just leave it the way it is. I squared is what? Negative 1. So therefore, I'm going to change that. So I'm going to say that's equal to 12 plus ai over 36 minus 16. And I color code them so you can see it. That's going to change into negative 1. And that's going to change into negative 1.
So negative 12 and negative 36.
Yes, so now my answer is going to be negative 12 plus ai over what? Negative 36 minus 16. That's going to be what? Negative 52, I think? And that's going to be negative 12 plus ai. Now, is this a plus bi form?
No.
What do you have to do? That's why we're doing this. That's why we've been training to do this. Minus 12 over negative 52 plus hello? Yes, I do. Okay, yeah, I'll send them to you. Megan Sanchez, you're gonna get a computer at the end. Not right now. Okay, so I split this, right? And then I'm gonna plus this. I'm gonna say, okay, that's gonna be ai over negative 52. I'm gonna add this. They're both negative, right? Negative 12 over, so that's 12 over 52 plus ai over, that's gonna be minus 52. Now I'm gonna simplify it by 4, I believe. That's gonna be 3 over 13, I think. Minus 2i over 13. So that's a plus bi form. So you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna do, says 3i plus 2 over 6i plus 2. So you're gonna simplify this, and let's see if you can rationalize correctly. The only thing different is I squared is negative 1. The night before, I show you step by step, so that you're gonna want to change to a plus bi form. Okay? On your SAT, you're gonna have this. You're gonna have at least 1 or 2 questions on this, and that's usually equal to 10 or 20 points. That's why I told you guys, in this class, if you do it correctly, you can increase your SAT score by 150 points. Or above. But if you do it correctly. You're gonna try to conjugate this one. Make sure I squared is negative 1. Make sure I just add combine like term. And I'm gonna do it on the bottom board here. And this is on the SAT, you're gonna have those. If you wanna check your answer, I have it in a second. If you want to check your answer, I have it here. Don't forget your phone. Don't forget your phone. Don't check your grade, my class. You're doing good. Take a picture of it. Never see me throw a phone out there?
Huh?
Never see me throw a phone out there?
Not really.
You could throw my phone out there.
What if you're on second floor?
I'll get a fishing rod.
Okay.
I'll hang it between two first floor and second floor.
So like
If you get like I put it in a plastic bag too.
plastic bag.
Just hanging there. People can
Also, I have to take the ACT on Tuesday, so because I asked them, because I think I did pretty good on my FSA that I took, but they were like, oh, like they don't get those scores until December, so they're gonna do. They haven't had my crit score either, so I'm gonna do the ACT on Tuesday, and then yeah. But it's really that this is gonna have like algebra, algebra 2, algebra 1, geometry.
Yeah, it has eyes.
That's pretty easy though. To me.
It's easy.
Yeah, it's easy. It's just like, I mean, I wasn't confused with it. So, I'm gonna take a picture of that though, just to. So yeah, so I just have to do
All right.
the.
You too.